Hey there everyone, welcome back to another Game Vault video. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault. We're going to talk about Helldivers 2 again. And there's been some developments since the last video, so let's cue up the music and we'll get right into it. Alright, I got two articles here, both from That Park Place, and as always, they will be linked down below in the description for you. Helldivers 2 CEO Johan Pilestedt appears completely unaware that PlayStation Network linking requires facial scanning or ID submission. I'll be honest, I didn't know that either. I guess if you link it through your Steam account, it does, because it sure doesn't require that for just a PlayStation account. Arrowhead Game Studios and Helldivers 2 CEO Johan Pilestedt responded to gamers being extremely upset about the game requiring Steam players to link their Steam accounts to a PlayStation Network account in order to play the game beginning in June. Sony Interactive Entertainment, the game's publisher, published a post to the game's Steam forums announcing this requirement earlier this week. Sony stated, or this would be last week by now, but Sony stated due to technical issues at the launch of Helldivers 2, we allowed the linking requirements for Steam accounts to a PlayStation Network account to be temporarily optional. That grace period will now expire. See details below in this post. And they go on to state that account linking plays a role in protecting players and upholding the value of safety and security within the PlayStation community and their games and all that. And what they're really, to put it in a nutshell, is it gives them the ability to ban and unban players and to correct the behavior of players based off of their PlayStation ID. They're in control of it, as opposed to if it's done through Steam and it would have another person involved, where I guess they'd have to have Steam take care of that issue. I don't know how that works on these multiple player games. You know, I guess PlayStation would have the ultimate, because it's their game, they would have the ultimate ability to ban or unban a player, but they would need some kind of information from Steam to be able to do that, or maybe they would have to tell Steam this player needs to go, and then they'd have to find it. It just sounds like a mess to me, but it is what it is. So he attempted to calm gamers down, posting on X, "Hey everyone, in regards to account linking and questions, please refer to PlayStation Support. If you have any further questions, you can reach out using the Contact PlayStation Support button at the bottom of the page." And then you've got, of course, guys like Spitz. We talked about Spitz in the last one. Spitz is an a-hole, and a lot of these developers are a-holes. Or not developers, but these community managers just seem to be a bunch of a-holes, and I don't know why. I mean, you know, we're your customers. You're gonna, don't abuse us. Don't get nasty and snarky with us, man. I mean, come on, man. You wouldn't do that if somebody asked you that question to your face. You'd probably get punched in the face. So why would you do it online? There's no need to be a jerk about it. So, Pilestedt later on states that, "I understand that linking accounts and signing up for additional services may not be something that some users would like to do, and that needs to be respected. While the Steam page has always shown the requirements on the game page, I wish we'd been more clear, right from the start." So, Lyra Goldtongue, it's an interesting name, has an issue with linking, and it's been stated here that the reason for that is it's also the fact that I'm forced to hand over a phone number, ID, or facial scan just to make the bloody account in the UK. Xbox doesn't ask you for that sort of stuff when you make it. Also the fact that they've had so many data breaches, so I doubt said information is safe in their hands. And yeah, I guess it's true. Here we are seeing a picture from trying to do it. Here's a screenshot of it. It says facial scan or ID, which can be a driver's license, passport, or regular ID card. That's kind of messed up. That's in the UK and Ireland. It's not here in the US. So I guess different countries have different requirements, which kind of sucks. And we're going to go into this a little bit further in the second story today, because there's even more involved with this. But yeah, I don't like that because, and she stated the truth there. PlayStation, Sony has on several times been hacked and had issues where I've had to get new credit cards and all that because my information was compromised. I'm glad my ID isn't on there, my real name, my social security, whatever. I'm glad that information's not out there. So Powsnet said at some point when they were talking about how it's true in the UK and Ireland that seems crazy, but I'll assume it's a law in the UK that you need to verify the age of your users. Either way, sounds a bit too much for my freedom-loving mind. And later on, Rand Douglas says, let me start by saying I know it's not you guys, but Sony who is holding the metaphorical gun here, but some countries that have your players literally cannot make PSN accounts because Sony does not recognize them on PlayStation Network. What's going to happen to those players? To which Powsted replied, we are discussing that question with our partners at PlayStation and trying to find a solution. So that's pretty much it on that article there. But moving right on, this one kind of piggybacks right off of it. Helldivers 2 community manager claims players in countries where PlayStation Network is not available will not need to link Steam accounts. So this could be interesting. We're going back to Spitz here. The guy is kind of a jerk, but he's stating that the game will no longer require players to link a PlayStation Network account, which is good, I guess. And I wonder if that would give you the ability to use a VPN or something like that to make yourself look like you're in one of those countries, and so you would not need to do that. I don't know. That's something for one of you more tech-savvy guys to explain to me how that would work. But Sony, Helldivers 2 publisher, announced players would be required to link their Steam accounts and yada yada. And they talk about the technical issues, and they talk about all that stuff there in the beginning when they first got it started. We've talked about that twice already. And here we go with Rand Douglas, what we just talked about. So here is Spitz's official announcement here. Yeah, I was completely unaware how many countries didn't have the ability to make a PlayStation Network account. When I made that statement, I deeply regret implying that it was so easy for everyone to just sign up and not have to worry about it. It's absolutely not our intention to force people to break Sony TOS or just not play the game if they're in a restricted region. There needs to be a better solution. If a better solution is provided for players who are in regions without PSN coverage, I'm assured that we won't be making the requirements mandatory for those players. We're not going to force people to either break Sony TOS or not play the game. Players making their displeasure known through reviews, refunds, etc. gives us more pull in discussions with Sony. They don't read our Discord. It hurts to see the game's popularity suffer in ratings, but discussions are ongoing and our team is on the side of the players in this fight. It's unrealistic to expect people to make PSN accounts in different regions to get past the account linking requirement. We're aware that discussions are ongoing. So Spitz really did a turnaround here from being a snarky jerk into someone that's now actually on the sides of the players because they, have a better understanding of things. And sometimes that's what you need to do. You need to understand a situation before you comment on it. Being reactive to things sometimes leads you to looking like a a-hole like he did a couple days ago as opposed to now. So they're working on it. Now the question is, are they going to be able to get Sony to lift that requirement, or are they just going to have to refund these things? That's the thing, is ultimately Sony is in control of everything there, and not Helldivers 2, not the developer, but actually Sony. So what do you guys think about the shift in narrative? Do you think that's a good thing? I mean, look at this. User reviews history, right? Looking back to the 27th of April, it was positive, and it's just dropping into the negative onto May 4th. I mean, huge drop. Absolutely terrible. And that's how the gaming community works, That's how they work. So anyway, let me leave your comments down below and let me know what you think about all this situation with Helldivers 2 and Sony and Spitz and everything else that's going on and having a link to the Steam accounts. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, peace.